to another. I see the one, the only Jezo sitting down, ready to battle.
Absolutely, the Jezo show is very real. We are just living in it. We are seeing another one of Europe's finest in Lancelot stepping up to the plate. It's your turn to be on the Jezo show. Let's see how well you do. Jezo, of course, in the last year or so has made such an impact, has made such a huge splash with a character, obviously, with R.O.B, who's very well known for such versatile styles of play. I can box, I can zone, I can sit back, I can swing, I can do whatever I fancy. But Jezo is, unlike any other R.O.B I ever see, really, is so good at using R.O.B's diverse arsenal to such amazing effect, mixing up between stocks, taking different games, different strategies every time I see him. It's so refreshing commentating a Jezo set across different tournaments here, as we can see, has been to lots of different tournaments as of late. First out of 13 in Nexus Fight Club, 4th out of 16 at the UK Brink Summit, and we see here 5th out of 118 at the grandest conquest there ever done has been. Jezo is certainly looking to make a name for himself, even more than he already has. And if you look at that track record, falling down to Icon, fair enough, but taking out Zoroya, Joalot, Lids, and Shanique, getting some huge wins on the way to securing potentially a spot in the top 12.
He's gonna have his work cut out for him, though. I feel like Lancelot, in his first appearance on the Jezo show, he may be more than just a villain of the week. I feel like he's gonna be a very tough challenge for our protagonist. Coming off the win at the Final Quest pre-local, coming off some very strong results in Scandinavia, in Finland. I know he did very, very well at the Komi. He's very unfortunately dropped to losers at the hands of Streaks, who then bizarrely went on to DQ afterwards.
Yeah.
But he beats Elite Tweet the Falco to make it into top 16. Done very well for him so far. That's a very nice run here. 3-0 over Giggles. Many people would fold to Giggles in losers, may I remind you. A 3-2 win over Sesko de Diddy Kong. A 3-1 win over Mondi, very strong Ness. 3-0 over our good friend B Little. But Jezo, it may be the strongest opponent that he has put out for him so far. Gonna be a very tough one, R.O.B versus Crom here. Stressful on both sides, I have to imagine.
Absolutely, yeah, you're absolutely spot on. The fact that R.O.B can so effectively edge guard the incredibly limited recovery. I've said it before for Wolf just previously here on this block of commentary here, but when I say limited in Wolf, his recovery looks like Sora's when you consider it right alongside Crom. When we say limited, it is directly up. You can mix in an air dodge if you've got the time. You've got to save a jump where you can. And maybe a side B will push you closer, but at the end of the day, you are going straight up into the sky. And R.O.B has a penchant for sending you straight down to the blast zone with a very, very wide, very strong down air. But on the flip side, R.O.B is as wide as they come, about this big, I would say. You can't even see how big because the hand's gone off the screen. That's just how wide R.O.B is. And for a character who has such advantage, that is so explosive as Crom, when in the right hands, it could certainly turn either way. Will the game be contested in an offstage brawl, or will it be scrapping on stage? Let's see as we continue here through top 32 of Regen 2023. Roy has appeared. Focus miss.
If you're wondering what sort of matchup we're seeing, I feel like I know what our friend Hugo wants here. He wants to scrap, he wants to get up close, and he wants to match R.O.B's explosive kill power with Roy.
Absolutely, the explosive advantage of Roy is far in sort of the same vein as the explosive zoning of R.O.B, but the offstage is still a contentious area. Might be Crom's Echo Fighter, might have that little bit of advantage in terms of recovery, but the melee veteran still suffers offstage as Jezo, without flinching, delivers a gyro that stunted that momentum that had been applied by Lancelot.
It's very interesting that we're getting this matchup in top 16, because a year ago, Lancelot fell in losers top 16, the very same spot to another red R.O.B by the name of Lucretio. If he was to falter at the same spot, to the same character, the same skin, be some poetic cruelty, I have to say. It's a very even set at the moment, very scrappy. It feels like you only need 1 or 2 hits per character to take a stop when these characters have the exploitable disadvantages that they do.
Absolutely, and for completely different reasons, it's to be said as well. Again, Rob, as I mentioned, because of his width and just, you know, as a heavy, obviously heavies have a sort of, they have that reputation being big hitters, but also big hurters, as we see a lovely jab into back air there from Lancelot to take that second stock. But then, again, you've got the potential that Rob has to just do anything he wants. Down throw is going to come out, and the up tilt into the up air. That is not quite enough, but a beautiful bit of movement there from Jezo, leaping across the stage, as dainty as can be, but falling straight into a neutral air as Lancelot's advantage continues. Once an up smash, but a hair too slow, and the gyro clanking there, and costing Rob the advantage that was applied.
Crazy stuff, and somehow Lancelot had the awareness to get an F tilt in that situation. And this is very good, very, very favorable for Lancelot here, especially with all that rage at his disposal. You can't be greedy in this advantage there, Jezo, because when Roy has all of that rage, a jab will lead to your demise at 80%. You cannot be sleeping. Your big frame, your big size, the big robot doesn't matter. It does not matter how large you are, how heavy you are, if you're gonna get jabbed at 80% against Roy.
You could have had Tim Hortons every day this weekend, as most of us have here at Regen, and you still would be going down at 80%, which is a percentage you never ever see Rob die at unless it's an insane read, unless it's an amazing edge guard. The fact that Lancelot using the sweetest of sweet spots there from Roy, the jab into the back air, able to take things so very early. We gotta see this running back. I was about to say maybe we'll see a bit of a wider stage, but we see small battlefield confident as can be that potentially Jezo can turn things around. We'll have to see as Lancelot once again just provides massive damage using the sweet spot of Roy's blade.
I'm very surprised that Jezo's taking the same sort of path back to ledge, back into neutral. He's still, when you're Rob, you have all the stage you can go to in the world, and yet I'm seeing Jezo consistently try to go past the ledge, against a character like Roy, who's looking to jab you for entering that space. And that's like 3 times now, I want to say, that Jezo's tried to go through, and he's been jabbed for it. Yeah. It's very interesting. I wonder if Jezo will mix up how he gets back, or if he's going to sort of hold forward, use that sort of magnet recovery path. Maybe it's okay if you can just match that punish game, but you're giving up these openings. You're not getting as much in advantage as Lancelot is at the moment. You're giving up so many, not free, but very favorable advantageous positions, which could lead to stocks. And I think you can't give Ego those moments to breathe.
Yeah, I would agree. Take a mile is certainly what Lancelot wants to do. One thing you can see there to punish the arm rotor, but just unable to. The down tilt into the down flash is going to take it. And we've seen there a game closely contested in the corner. Just, I'm keeping you in the corner. Now it's your turn. You're dead because you stayed in the corner. Yeah, but now you're going to get edge guarded because you stayed in the corner. Pushing each other, not to the center stage, but just comfortable to go either side here. And Lancelot's just using that range of Roy. The sword is out in full force, swinging here. And Jezo's at 140%. Rob's got explosive advantage, but the sword's more explosive there. The big up B to take things back into Lancelot's favor. And 20% is all Jezo was able to get on the board before once again Rob turned red for a far different reason. The flames of Lancelot scorching the robotic operating buddy, but a lovely reverse nail, wanted an arm rotor to take things straight back into the favor, but it's an F smash instead for Lancelot. Focus miss.
That's crucial. That could have been a stock gone, obliterated, but instead Jezo has been lapped in percent, kind of panicking off stage, an ill-advised gyro shot, and he's still taking the same path back. And don't know how much fuel you have left in the tank. That's not enough, especially when you accidentally air dodge off stage. This is unusually shaky from Jezo. I'm not used to seeing this. He normally keeps his cool in these pressure situations, and yet there's a bit of panic, bit of shake,
which it's just not common. Jezo has been competing, as I say, this like high level for the past year now, getting such consistently high results all across the country. But it just feels like Lancelot knows exactly what he wants to do. You have to see Jezo stop contesting in the corner. You have to see more centered play, and I don't know if small battlefield's the stage to do it on. It's less stage for you to have to control, but it's less stage for Lancelot to have to dash at you for. Getting rid of the gyro with a nibble there and into a forward air to take things 70%, 10 times the damage has been applied to Jezo. But there we go, ready to get straight back in. There is the host of the Jezo show. We're living in it, but living Jezo might not be for much longer if he is going to keep falling for these big hits that Lancelot's able to apply. Dying at 111 focus miss.
Frustration from the side of Jezo, desperation from the side of Jezo, as he's sort of panicking a lot. He's going for these Hail Marys, and I can understand why. I can understand the decision making, but it's not been going right for our protagonist. It feels like control is slipping away from him. Rob is such a versatile character, as we discussed before, but it feels like he doesn't have enough in the toolkit to keep up with Lancelot at the moment. It feels like he's not really able to... Oh, hold on. Gyro zone set up. Can he get the kill from Ledge here? A very good Z-catch from Lancelot to get it. Did you see how that gyro went away?
Just launch. Adios. See you later, alligator. In a while, things look vile for Jezo here. A full stock down, not quite lap like last time, but certainly looking that way. One more hit's going to do it in both in terms of lapping and killing. An F-tilt off the whiff grab. Lancelot is firmly in control, but Jezo says not quite yet. My big back hair is going to blast you and burn you just like your blade can do to me. Let's see if Jezo can use this momentum. Gyro in hand, throwing and bouncing all over the shop. And Lancelot, you see that, the composure. Usually, if Rob's throwing stuff at you, you're going to want to jump, get in the air, contest. Obviously, a lot of interactions in Ultimate are air to air, but just stood, knowing the laser was coming, ready to react to it, wanting a big hit here to secure the stock. Is Lancelot, and Jezo needs, I'm not entirely sure. Rob's got a versatile kit, but what do you do when you're getting battered from pillar to post? You got to keep Lancelot in the corner, but able to get straight back out with the disjoint. An up air, another one will certainly seal it. A forward air is what's found instead, and a weak hit that time. A strong hit would have certainly sealed Jezo's fate. Let's see if Jezo can do anything F-throw to create another offstage situation. You would think it would be the other way around here. You would think Rob would be the one forcing Lancelot into the corner, like we saw the first stock of game one, but instead it's been the complete reverse. Jezo unable to get out of the corner and unable to do anything about that shield pressure.
It's very scary. There's so much rage on Rob, such high percent. It feels like there's not many opportunities, but this is where the magic can happen. It has to happen. Otherwise, this episode is coming to an unfortunate end. Oh, you can see he wanted the out. He wanted the zero step off the gyro toss. He still has an opportunity here. Gets the grab. Burns the jump, side B, hold on, it doesn't work! It doesn't work, Jezo falls off stage, but Lancelot does not, and all of a sudden I feel like it's coming to an end. The up throw is not going to do it, but the up air will certainly do it. It's 3-0, reverse free stock denied as Lancelot moves on, loses top 12. He's one set away from winning, from making it into top 8. Doing better than he did last year, defeating the Red Rob.
Absolutely, history did not repeat itself there, and in the history of the Jezo show, that is probably the most decisive defeat I have ever seen. Just as we say, looking so lost, ready to reverse things, coming so alive after getting that flinching hit of Rob's up air, but doesn't quite land it, reversing so effectively, but the arm rotor malfunction at just the right